What's up, Drops? We are filming tonight from the downtown Fort Worth in the Stockyards. And our coffee is from Avaka Coffee Shop. And I tried to do research on them. But I think their thing is they're in the Stockyards. So if you want coffee when you're in the Stockyards, and they're open till 8. And I'm pretty sure all the other coffee shops around here close at 4. Maybe one closed at 5. They're open till 8, so they really don't have to, they didn't have to say much about their coffee because they're the only ones open in the Stockyards. So, I will tell you though, for you guys, I did speak to some of my drips. I wanted to make sure that you guys are receiving the best coffee critiquing experience possible. And so I asked a couple close friends and a couple of my relatives if, what do you want out of this coffee critiquing experience? And my blood relatives, aka my brother, he gave me some advice for the YouTube channel. I guess before I tell you the advice, I will tell you that growing up, we did not have a television. And if we ever wanted to watch movies, my family would go to the local library and would check out a movie projector, a movie screen, and like movie reels. And they would bring them home. And we would watch them. That's how we watched movies at my house growing up. And so there was a particular movie that we probably watched because there probably weren't a lot of choices. And so I'm guessing that we probably watched the same movies over and over. So we watched a movie from 1937, Lost Horizon. And in that movie, there was a grand shaman who gave a speech. Well, I guess we watched the movie so many times that I memorized the speech. And so since we didn't have a television, when we would later have company over, my family would ask me to give the grand shaman speech to our company. And for some reason, I complied. And I'm pretty sure everybody was laughing at me, but I was too young to realize, and I would do it. So I'm just going to tell you, I'm not going to comply. So my brother's suggestion for the YouTube channel was that I give the grand shaman's speech, which I'm not going to do. I fell for it when I was a kid, but I'm not falling for it again. And I will tell you, I know what you're thinking if you're one of the 2 people watching this, not a family member or my close friend. No, I was not homeschooled. However, I did homeschool my own children. So, and we actually weren't cool enough, homeschooling family, to rent projectors from the library, because that would have been really cool homeschool thing for us to do, but we didn't do it. Okay, so that was my brother's advice. My sister's advice was just to continue being awkward, which, not very helpful because that's probably going to happen anyway. My sister-in-law, not blood relative, she gave very good advice. So her advice was to always order one drink that's kind of your, the way it comes as your baseline for comparison. And then if I alter one, then I have something to compare to. So I thought that was really good advice. And the other thing that was very good advice that my non-blood relative gave was that I need to come up with a consistent rating system. And I agree with this, because if I'm going to be critiquing these coffee shops, I need a consistent, somewhat non-subjective, subjective grading system. So here's my non-subjective, subjective grading system I came up with for rating coffees. Because, I've been all over the place. I've given some place 10 stars. I've given some place 2 thumbs up. Sometimes I'm like, it's good. And it's probably not. So here we go. This is what I came up with. After tasting coffees at all these different coffee shops, here's what I think is important. I think the flavor of the coffee or espresso, that is worth one bean, because there actually is a coffee shop, but it doesn't matter what you get there. The flavor of their coffee is just not, it's not good. So the flavor of the coffee is one, gives you one bean. The flavor of the drink gives you another bean. Let's see, flavor of the coffee, flavor of the drink. Oh, the strength of the coffee. I had to write it down because I forgot. So, and I'm going to make a bean chart. I'm sorry. I did not discuss this with my manager. Okay, so flavor of the coffee, flavor of the drink, strength of the coffee. Because sometimes you get a drink and it tastes good, but you can't taste any coffee. And who wants that? Okay, here's another one that's really important, is temperature. So here's something we've realized. Like, you can go to some coffee shops, and if you're getting a hot drink, I want it to actually be hot. But we've gone to some places and we've ordered hot drinks and it comes out and it's like lukewarm. So that's not good. Or sometimes you get a cold drink and the ice is all melted and it's like, it's also lukewarm, which is also not good. So flavor, strength, temperature, and presentation. So that's our 5 bean rating. Is that okay, manager? He's not sure. So anyway, whatever. So that's our 5 bean rating system. So it can be a little less subjective, but still subjective. I know my opinion probably is somewhat in question since I do drink Starbucks every day. However, I will tell you, if you do drink Starbucks espresso, you should drink the blonde espresso because their regular espresso is not that good. And I know that my opinion also might be in question because I said Italy's espresso isn't good. I just have to say, I would like to talk to the person who actually says Italy's espresso is good. Let's just have a talk. Let's have a talk. I would say Italians don't even think their espresso is good because when we were there, they had and you order espresso, they stand up at the bar and they put, the espresso comes out in shot glasses and they have packets of sugar and they put like 4 packets of sugar in one shot glass. I'm sorry, if you've got good espresso, you don't need 4 packets of sugar in a shot glass. So I stand by my opinion. And I would also say the Espresso Inn made drinks like cappuccinos, which I know they said was a very American thing to order, but that espresso tastes fine. It's just the straight espresso. And I think it was just because they took so long to bring it to you and the shots were bad. There's so much going on. I don't even know if you guys can hear it. Just like there sounds like a mariachi band is going on behind me. Okay, so I don't want to give Avaca a poor bean rating because our ice is all melted because we're in Texas and it's 90 degrees out here and their temperatures melted their drink. So I'm going to go ahead and do our tasting. I ordered a Cupacabra tonight, which was cinnamon, cold brew, and half and half. That's how it came. And I saw the guy, like, we got in there like 5 minutes before closing. So he did not look thrilled to be there and or making our drinks. And he was like, did like this with the cinnamon. Yes, completely understandable, says my manager. Completely understandable. And anyway, so I was like, well, is that the extent of the cinnamon? But they actually do put cinnamon. It's got cinnamon syrup in there. So it's cinnamon syrup, a couple shakes of cinnamon powder, cold brew, and half and half. That's what this guy is. That's how it comes. That's a Cupacabra. And then this is the same thing except with oat milk. So my manager's trying to defend the barista. He did a great job. He did a great job, but it was our fault because we were there late. So It wasn't his fault. I'm sure he made a great drink. So anyway, let's give these guys a taste. What? This one? This is the oat milk. Oh, that's right. I've got to taste the fake one first. Because it's probably not going to taste as good. Okay, this is the one made with oat milk. Thank you, manager. Okay, the flavor of the coffee. Flavor of the coffee is not bad. Okay, it doesn't have a bad flavor. I don't know. See, I still don't know. Can I give it a half a star? It's not. The coffee tastes. Huh? Beans. Sorry. Okay.
Why we talk about these things?
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna give it one bean. One bean for the flavor. Huh? Am I gonna give it a?
Your scale is just one bean for each thing.
What should it be? My manager's critiquing my scale. The scale may get changed later. Sorry. Okay. All right. A half a bean. He said I have to be willing to be fractional. But I can't hold up. Okay. Half a bean for. Well, actually, the flavor is fine. The flavor's fine. I like the flavor of the coffee part of it. I mean, it's,
If you give it a 1, that's like a 10.
Okay, he's saying if I give it a 1, that's like giving it a 10. This whole rating thing is so hard. Huh? Okay, we'll discuss this later. Okay. Okay, I'm going to give it a 1. I'm going to give it a 1 for the coffee. For the flavor of the coffee. I'm going to give it half a point. You have to keep, you're better at math than me, so you keep score. A half a bean for the flavor of the drink. I'm not giving it a bean for the strength of the coffee. The temperature at this point doesn't get a bean, but that could be because we're sitting outside and I've been talking so long. So, and then presentation is fine. We'll just give it we got it to go. So who knows? If we had gotten it to stay, it might have looked amazing. So we'll give it a half a bean because that's really not their fault. Okay, how many beans was that?
Was that all the categories?
Yes, that was all the categories you're supposed to be counting.
I picked up 3.5.
Okay, he says he counted 3.5. So
I got distracted by the ice blue mini cooper.
Oh, okay. He's distracted by whatever's going on behind me, which is definitely probably more interesting. Okay, he said 3.5, but I felt like it was less than that. Okay, now we'll taste the one with the way that it came.
Your scale's flawed.
He says my scale's flawed. We'll have to discuss the scale, and we'll have it fixed by the next tasting. Okay, actually, I almost think this is weird, but I almost think this one's better. The oat milk in it is definitely better on this.
Half and half sour?
No, the half and half isn't. Oh, I don't know. I can hardly taste the coffee, so no beans on that. I don't like the flavor. The strength isn't good. The temperature isn't good. And the presentation. So this one's a 1 bean, and we'll say this is a 3.5 bean. So I don't know. That's very interesting. I'll have to let my manager taste and see what he thinks. I kind of feel like I should give them a bean for the temperature thing because that could be our fault. So anyway, if you guys would like to continue receiving coffee critiques, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to espresso yourselves in the comments below. before we go, I've got to name these guys. I've got to name these guys. My manager's making faces at me behind the phone. So I've got to name these guys. What are these guys' names? I think this is Geraldo.
Geraldo?
Yes, Geraldo. This is Geraldo. And this is Harry. All right, Drips. Y'all let me know if you're tempted to come to a vaca in the stockyards. And hope y'all have a great rest of your weekend.